I found this interesting. I found this on my watch, like on my recommended stuff, and I'm interested. Are spring locks dangerous? And these are real spring locks. So let's see. It's interesting. As a FNAF person, I enjoy little stuff like this.
So are spring locks actually dangerous? So, to test this out, I decided to build my own spring lock. I wanted to make it out of wood, but I ended up hitting myself in the crotch with a piece of wood when I was cutting it. I
Ooh.
saw it as like a sign to not use wood. So I decided to use metal, and I used aluminum because it's easy to bend and it's easy to drill into. And the dust that comes off of aluminum when you're cutting it, it smells so good. So I cut some
Wait,
pieces,
wait,
and the
wait.
dust that comes off of aluminum when you're cutting it, it smells.
Oh man. You don't want to smell that aluminum, bro. You do not want to smell the aluminum dust.
So good. So I cut some pieces out, drilled some holes in, used some aluminum brazing rods, which I like to call my welding Duplo, because I don't know how.
Of course, never replicate this at home. This is, I would say, a professional doing, a professional wearing the proper equipment, doing blacksmith stuff and wielding stuff. Never do this, replicate this at home. Use common sense.
How to regular weld. So I used a compression spring that was, I think, a capacity of 40 pounds, and it was done. This thing did a little bit of damage. I mean,
Oh.
it broke through glass, it cut through
Oh.
a banana, it shattered this egg,
Oh.
and it kind of did some damage to Apple.
Damn.
But then it was the real test. I wanted to see if it could actually hurt me. And
You don't want to do that. No, well, but I guess for the purpose of the video, spring locks, like you wanna, test the theory of like, the spring bunny, you know. But why would you want to use spring suits when you can just take the suit out and just use the suit in itself, Like there are many people who do that. I think just like what was it called? Off-brand Barney suit. Yeah, like you can wear this stuff without the need of wearing a suit. I mean, wearing the Springlock suits. It's much safer. Yeah.
not gonna lie, it didn't do that much. I mean, this thing stung a little bit on my hand, but didn't really do that much damage. And my spring lock is actually a little stronger than the ones that you would buy on adamandeve.com.
Obviously, this is a professional, and we're of course. Okay, so this is a fellow FNAF fan, a fellow FNAF enjoyer. Yeah, no wonder you were making this video. It's like obviously you're gonna try to be safe about this. You're not trying to going to hurt yourself really, right? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Okay. Obviously, never replicate this, never do it.
And Amazon. So usually regular spring locks won't hurt, but I can fix that. So when you search up spring locks on Google, you don't actually come across regular spring locks. But I
Wait,
can
what?
fix that. So when you search up spring locks on Google,
Yeah, this is like the FNAF 3 fake character. Spring Garfield. Damn. Now we are one John. Damn. What a sad outcome.
you don't actually come across regular spring locks, and instead all of this. And
Yeah, spring locks are known for being related to Five Nights at Freddy's.
and something caught my eye. It's this diagram right here of the spring lock suit.
Ooh, suit, animatronic parts, hand crank, spring locks.
Which pushes animatronic parts together from a game that I'm pretty sure needs no introduction at all. So I decided to make this thing. This looks like a rejected saw trap, and that's basically what it is. See, when you put your hand in this thing, like right here, there's two spikes. I don't know if you can see them. So if you can see that, those are those two spikes right there. And when your hand gets caught in here, when your hand goes in these two things, your hand gets caught between those spikes, and when you have to move your hand out of it, it gets pretty bad. You know what? Let me show you. So let's just say that this bottle of Red 40 is your arm.
Okay.
Once the spring locks go off, your
Ooh,
arm
whoa,
is pretty
whoa,
much just say that this
whoa.
bottle of Red 40 is your arm. Once this
Damn. That's not good. That's gonna be really painful. Really painful.
spring locks go off, your arm is pretty much stuck. And if you try to move, well... And then the worst part is that you can't get it out because it's
Oh.
stuck inside the bottle. The more you try to struggle, the more it comes out, and the more it's gonna rip through.
Ooh.
Oh, it's bad. So you definitely do not want to put your arm in the Springlock
No,
arm attachment,
no.
because even the sides of this thing are pretty strong and they have a lot of force. So not just the spikes are going to be your problem. Yeah, this
Wait,
thing
what?
are pretty strong and they have a lot of force. So in the Springlock arm attachment, because even the sides of this thing are pretty strong and they have a lot of force. So not
Damn, yep, absolutely. You do not want to replicate this. Doesn't matter how much of a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's you may be, you don't want to have a Springlock suit. You don't want that.
not just the spikes are going to be your problem. You know, after this project, it really taught me that Springlocks can be pretty dangerous. You know, before this, I thought that was all kind of bullshit. Not gonna lie. But you know, after this, I learned that they can be pretty dangerous. It's just how you make them and use them. And you for sure don't want to shove Springlocks up your butt. I know
Huh? Who does that?
they go fast forward really good, but don't shove them up your butt.
5 likes on this video make a whole Springlock suit. Well, it seems like he did it. And obviously interesting download content. So of course, you know, here it is. The OG, the man himself. Har, you know, Freddy Fazbear. And obviously we are going to see. I'm interested. What the heck is going on? Let's see. The Springlock suit. Okay.
So a promise is a promise, and today I'm gonna try and build a Springlock suit, and also
Did he really ask for 5 likes? Either this guy used to have a not, obviously do not try any of these things I made your home, obviously, you know. But did this guy really think that there were 5 likes? Like he wouldn't get 5 likes? Or no? It was probably on purpose. Yeah, it must be.
try not to die. So if I'm gonna build this suit, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of
Wait.
research and also try not to die. So if
I love it. The reference, black and white tiles, floor.
I'm gonna build this suit, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of research. So I went online and looked up Springlock suits, and behind all of the FNAF Rule 34, there's actually a pretty good idea.
Huh? What? You went to Rule 34 to research on how to make a Springlock suit? What?
Of what a Springlock suit is. And honestly, all it does is pull back animatronic parts so someone could fit inside. And obviously does is pull back animatronic parts so someone could fit inside. And obviously, you know, Springlocks fail, it gets pretty
Yeah.
So now what we're going to do is send this old Springlock arm attachment into a retirement home, because we're going to build a completely new Springlock arm attachment that's basically going to be an upgraded version of the old one. And the first thing I want to work on is the Springlock. So instead of 44 pounds like last time, I'm just going to... These springs are 52 pounds of capacity, and they should be pretty strong. And just to make sure that they're strong, I decided to chuck them at a wall, and they didn't shatter or break, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be strong. Now, with that strong spring, I built a new Springlock, which had a steel exterior, a strong spring, and a threaded rod. And the threaded rod makes it really easy, so I don't have to weld almost everything onto this thing. The strong spring, which is going to add a lot of pressure, and then the entire thing is going to be made out of steel this time. This entire project is going to be steel. Well, if it's going to be made out of steel...
Steel. Well, really clever. Steel Wool Studios. Clever name.
this time. Why is this one on a piece of wood? It's actually only on a piece of wood because I built this as a test version. So I used this thing to test it against ballistics gel, since ballistics gel is kind of close to human skin. And
what? Ballistic gelatin is a testing medium designated to simulate the effects of a bullet wounds in animal muscle tissue. Okay.
it went instantly straight through the ballistics gel, like in a blink of an eye. The fact that it went through the ballistics gel made me realize, you know, ballistics gel, like in a blink of an eye, human skin, and it went instantly straight through the ballistics gel, like in a blink of an eye. The fact that, and it went instantly straight through the ballistics gel, like in a blink of an eye. The fact that I went through the ballistics gel made me realize, you know, this will work. This should work.
Do you want it to work?
So I went through with building more of the Springlock arm attachments for all the limbs and stuff.
Oh man, you're really wearing the purple The purple jacket.
And then I wanted
Yep.
to actually do something new this time. Now this is a metal pipe, and I didn't just buy it because I like the funny noise it makes when it falls. Actually,
Does it actually make that noise?
I bought it so it can kind of be like the endoskeleton part and the armor
Oh yeah.
attachments instead of just like kind of that U thing I had before. So I added spikes on the pipe to make it sharp.
Why?
Then I decided to put my arm through the arm attachment just to make sure they were sharp enough.
You make sure they were sharp enough. Brother, I hope you're not trying to hurt yourself intentionally. You're not trying to hurt yourself intentionally, Art. Please don't tell me you're gonna. Obviously, I'm sure you're a smart person. You're not gonna hurt yourself intentionally. Like, YouTube would have taken this video down if you were. Oh no, okay, that's a mannequin. Obviously, that's a mannequin too. Okay, so you're smart. You're using mannequins. You're smart.
And now after all that labor, we have 2 Springlock arm attachments to make 1 full arm Springlock.
You actually wear it. You're bold. And obviously, no one should replicate this.
Not gonna lie, it's not that bad. I tested it out a little bit and I thought it was gonna fail, but it didn't. It actually did pretty well. It was able to hold on to this span. I thought it was gonna fail, but it didn't. It actually did pretty well. It was able to test it out a little bit and I thought it was gonna fail, but it didn't. It actually did
It stayed.
pretty well. It was able to hold on to this mannequin's arm. Gonna fail, but it didn't. It's not that bad. I tested it out a little bit and I thought it was gonna fail, but it didn't. It actually did pretty well. It was able to hold on to this mannequin's arm pretty well, so I imagine that it would do a lot of damage if it was against, you know, something like an actual arm. Definitely seems like it could do its job.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This thing didn't kill me or like puncture skin.
If it did, you would have told us, and you wouldn't. You would literally said, "This was a bad idea. Don't do it, guys." If that is, if you were to survive, and if you were to have, you know, falling down, then this video wouldn't have come out.
I would wear this shit.
But it's good that you're alive. It's good that you survived. You did it out of curiosity, and curiosity did not kill the cat this time. But obviously, do not try any of the things in this video at home. Gotta always emphasize that.
Every day, dude. That's pretty sick. Now all I gotta do is make like 4 more of these. We're almost there. All I gotta do is like work on the chest area. I already have a plan for that, so it should be good. So everything was going right. It was going smooth. I was building the Springlock chest area, the breast area. The Springlock breast and chest, and I realized this part that I'm thinking of doing looks really bad. And it did look really bad. I did not like how it looked at all. It was too short. I feel like the design for the back, I feel like it would only work for the limbs. So I had to think of a completely new design. And then it came to me. My brain short-circuited. My neurons in my new design. And
you obviously don't want to burn stuff near cables. I don't think that's a good idea.
And then it came to me. My brain short-circuited. My neurons in my brain. They said, hey, why don't I just build like a really bad bear trap and then put it in the chest area? I heard that idea in my head. And I thought, I'm stupid. Wow, I'm really, really dumb. I'm so stupid. And the fact...
Bro is literally making saw levels of traps.
Said I'm stupid, so I decided it was a good idea and moved on with that. I kind of went with like the idea that it's supposed to be close to like the movie version, and I'm like,
oh wait, this isn't the movie?
Bear trap, that's basically a bear trap, so if I make a bear trap, it'll even out. I don't know, so I made a bear trap. So first I made this, which used a little bit of a smaller extension spring, and I didn't really like it. I was like, that's way too weak. So then I moved on to a 150-pound spring for like punching bags. See, I went from like small spring to monster spring. So I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I basically tried to do the same thing I did with the first one, and I made the same layout, and it did work pretty well. It was actually strong. So I made this plate where I was gonna put both of the springs on. And you might say, that looks like you cut that blind. And if you did say that, you'd actually be right.
Wouldn't wouldn't it be best to wear the the little mask, the wielding mask?
Now I sized up most of these parts because I didn't realize that, oh, strong spring equal, I'm gonna break all your parts, so you're gonna have to get some new ones. And then I welded everything down. And I was surprised I was able to make welding look like a
Ooh.
10-year-old hot glue project. But I'm not trying to question my welds. I'm trying to question if this thing actually works.
Ooh.
That's good enough for me. So I screwed it into the shell that I made. I don't even think the bear trap is what's gonna kill you. It's the scoliosis.
What the heck?
You're gonna get after wearing this thing. This thing's freaking heavy.
Damn.
And I thought about doing one more test just to make sure that everything was gonna go off the right way inside the shell.
Bro, Hollywood should hire this guy to make those little props for the Saw movies, the future Saw movies, or any horror stuff. Because I think what's more scary is seeing, humans. Well, obviously, everything is fake. No one actually dies. Everything is done with props. It's fake blood, fake humans. It's just realistic looking mannequins. But this, I bet stuff like this is used by horror movie stuff, and I think people say like, oh, slasher movies are scary, or like the demons are scary. No, I think what's actually scary is when you know how frail the human being is, that even small simple little stuff or even careless mistakes can cost a life.
It isn't set off at the same time, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Look at those marks right there. Look
Ooh.
at that. Dude, it looks like a shark bite. That's crazy.
And after that test, everything was finally ready to go.
So you got your Springlock short chest
The legs,
plate
the chest plate.
with your Springlock arms right here.
Oh wow.
It's everything here all at once. I know some people might say, where's the shell? Like,
You shouldn't do that. You're not obviously going to do this. Yeah, you obviously wouldn't do it.
where's the fur part? And not gonna lie, I kind of made this version so you guys can see like the inner workings and all that, see all this stuff, and
Just basically, it's just done to see just how deadly this is.
inside the suit, with the plastic, you wouldn't be able to see any of the cool stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't put it there. And also, I'm not a furry. So now I'm planning to springlock this dummy. And y'all might be saying, we want a ballistic gel dummy. And I actually would like to use a $6,000
Oh yeah, but it's super expensive.
ballistic gel dummy too. There's actually a scientific reason why I didn't do it this time, and I'll explain it in Fortnite terms. So basically, I don't have enough V-Bucks to buy the
Yep, it's too expensive.
battle pass. So I want to try spring locking this guy now. We got him. This is the purple man. This is the purple dude, the dude that's purple, the bad guy from the
You
purple man. This is the purple dude, the dude that's purple, the bad guy.
you actually
The purple man. This is the purple dude, the dude that's purple, the bad guy.
you really. But I mean, it is true. This guy right here, worst guy on earth.
The bad guy from the game? Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked exactly how I wanted them to. Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked
Ooh.
exactly how I wanted them to.
Hey, I wanna see it again.
Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked exactly how I...
Did you just
Bad guy
move
from the
it
game?
or?
Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked...
It seems like you just moved it for that one.
Bad guy? The bad guy from the game? Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arm
He just moved it or touched it a little
worked
bit.
exactly how I wanted them to. Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked
I mean, this one obviously gets kind of like hit.
the bad guy from the game? Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arm
Like he's not hitting it with anything.
worked
But who knows? Whatever.
exactly how I wanted them to. They went
Damn.
straight through the
Damn.
arms perfectly. And then the
Damn.
side of the chest. Oh,
Whoa,
my God.
wait.
They went straight through. Mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked the bad guy from the game? Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms work exactly the bad guy from the game. Well, that's the mannequin. The mannequin's the bad guy from the game. And the arms worked exactly how I wanted them to. They went straight through the arms perfectly. And then
Okay.
the side of the chest, oh
Damn.
my god, it looked just like the movie.
It does look like the movie, bro.
Kinda. But the legs, well, we don't talk about the legs. That
It didn't activate.
one was pretty alright. So, I mean, it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. As a first version of the Springlock suit I was gonna make, this isn't too bad. Is it dangerous? Yes.
It
Very
obviously
dangerous.
is.
Very, very dangerous. This mannequin's plastic. It's actually doing pretty well against the Springlocks. But a person in the suit, I like.
Yeah, they would be dead by the time the ambulance arrives. Thank goodness we don't have Springlock suits. Wait. Are Springlock suits real? Fictional. Springlock suits are unique animatrons in the 5 series. So... Okay, but there's no real examples of such things, right? It seems like there are no real actual use examples of this, which is smart. It is smart, you know. Why use like you either have them to be used as the robot or you either have them to be used by a human. You don't want to do both because you know then you get stuff that's messy.
Like the thought of that just like makes you cringe. It's a very dangerous suit, and a
Wait,
person
what?
in the suit, I like the thought of that just like makes you cringe.
Obviously.
It's a very dangerous suit, and I'm glad I was able to kind of make it work. I think the craziest part too is that like these parts are like stuck. I mean, it may not be lore accurate, and it may be a piece of trash and garbage, but that's my Springlock suit. Did I waste almost 2 months building it?
2 months? 2 months? Wow, it's really impressive.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what I got out of this project? A pretty cool can opener. So if you like this video,
Oh my god.
subscribe. And always make sure to enjoy the small things in life. Wait, that sounds like a dick joke. I did not
What?
mean to end the video with a dick joke. Oh my god.
What?
So if you like this video, subscribe. And always make sure to enjoy the small things in life. Wait, that sounds like a dick joke. I did
It doesn't sound like it.
not mean to end the video with a dick joke. Oh my god. Oh, fuck.
It definitely didn't sound like one. Well, this was an actual amazing video. Interesting, of course, download cunt. And as usual, you know, never try this at home. Never. Again, download cunt. Go support them. Go watch them.